Okay, so we all know the story of the three wise men, right? Following that star to Bethlehem? It's an absolute classic. But what if I told you there was a fourth?
Just think about that for a second. What if there was another sage out there who saw that very same star light up the heavens, but his journey, well, it took him down a completely different path? This single question is the key to an incredible story about purpose, sacrifice, and what it really truly means to serve.
So, let's dive in and meet the man at the heart of this epic quest.
His name is Artaban, and he's not just anyone. He's a Persian sage, a wise man, and a physician. And just like the other Magi, when he saw that brilliant new star ignite the night sky, he knew exactly what it meant. A great king had been born. And for him, this wasn't just some interesting astrological event, it was a call to action.
And believe me, he took that call seriously. Artaban didn't just pack a bag. No, he went all in. He sold his comfortable home, all of his possessions, and completely abandoned a stable, respected life. He gave up everything for one single, powerful purpose: to find and honor this newborn king.
Now, of course, you can't just show up to meet a king empty-handed, right? Artaban prepared 3 gifts of immense value. But these weren't just treasures, they were symbols of his hope, and they would end up shaping his entire destiny.
He chose these magnificent jewels: a sapphire as deep blue as the night sky he studied, a ruby redder than any sunrise, and a pearl as pure and perfect as snow. This wasn't just a tribute, this was literally his entire fortune invested in this one single quest.
But you know how it is. You make a plan, and life just kind of laughs at you. Artaban's journey was tested right from the very beginning. His whole quest was immediately thrown off course by a totally unexpected and profound moral choice. So he's on his way to meet up with the other wise men, he's on a deadline, and he stumbles upon a man collapsed on the road, practically at death's door. This was his first major crossroads. Does he press on to fulfill his sacred mission, or does he stop to save the life right there in front of him? I mean, what would you do?
Artaban chose compassion. As a physician, he just couldn't leave the man to die. He stayed and nursed him back to health. But this act of kindness came with a huge price tag. He missed the meeting. His companions were gone. Now he's all alone. And to even continue the journey, he has to sell his beautiful sapphire just to buy supplies to cross the desert. One gift, gone, before the journey had even really begun.
After a long and lonely journey, Artaban finally reaches Bethlehem. But he doesn't find peace and quiet. He finds pure terror.
King Herod's soldiers are rampaging through the streets, creating absolute chaos. And right in the middle of it all, Artaban witnesses a horrific moment: a soldier about to kill a small child. And there it is again, another impossible choice: keep searching for the king or intervene and save this innocent life.
This time, there was zero hesitation. He immediately pulled out his second gift, that fiery ruby, and used it to bribe the soldier, saving the child's life. The child's mother was overcome with gratitude. But now, Artaban was left with only one gift, the pearl, and he felt like he was no closer to his goal.
And this, right here, is where the story takes a really profound turn. Artaban's quest to find the king didn't end in a few weeks or a few months. It stretched into a journey that was far longer than he could have ever imagined.
For 33 years. 33 years. Just let that sink in for a minute. That's not a journey, that's a lifetime. An entire lifetime spent wandering, searching for a king he never found. That number alone just tells you everything about his incredible perseverance and the weight of his quest.
But you know, over those long decades, something really remarkable happened. His original mission, it slowly transformed. He never stopped looking for the king, but along the way, he just couldn't ignore all the suffering he saw. He used his skills to heal the sick. He used what little he had to feed the hungry and comfort those in prison. His search for a king had turned into a life of service to everyday people.
And through it all, he held on to one last thing: the pearl. It was so much more than just a jewel by now. It was the final, fragile thread connecting him to his original purpose. It was his last hope of one day finally meeting and honoring the king.
So after 33 years, an old, weary Artaban finally arrives in Jerusalem. And this is where his story reaches its powerful climax.
It's in Jerusalem that he hears the most shocking news of his life. The king he has spent an entire lifetime searching for is here. But he's a prisoner, and he's about to be executed.
You can just imagine his thoughts.
This is it. This is my last chance. He could use his final, perfect pearl as a ransom. Could this one last gift salvage his entire life's mission? He is so close.
But then, in one final, almost cruel twist of fate, as he's rushing toward the execution site, he sees a young girl being dragged away by soldiers to be sold into slavery. And so he faces his final and most profound choice: fulfill the dream he has chased for 33 years, or save this one desperate life in front of him.
And what he does next, well, it reveals the true purpose of his entire life. And it's the powerful conclusion to this incredible story.
He uses the pearl, his last hope, the symbol of his life's quest, to buy the girl's freedom. Just then, a violent earthquake strikes the city. Artaban is struck by falling debris and is mortally wounded. And in his dying moments, all he can feel is this crushing despair. He never met the king. His life, he thinks, was a complete and utter failure. But then, in that moment of deepest failure, he hears a faint voice. And this voice speaks the words that reframe everything, turning his perceived failure into the most profound success. He learns that in helping the dying man, the child, the girl, and all the others along the way, he had been meeting and serving the king his entire life without ever even knowing it.
And this whole story just beautifully illustrates a central question, one for all of us to consider. Is the real purpose of our lives about achieving that one big goal we set for ourselves? Or is purpose found in the detours, the interruptions, and the small acts of love we show to the people we just happen to meet along the way? What do you think?